Hey friends, how you guys doing? Take a sip of my coffee. This is leaded. I need a little go juice today. How you guys doing? I'm doing well. Pretty excited actually. What do I have here on the table? This is Buckins 922 XL Super. I own a couple of these saws. They're good saws. They are absolute tractors. This one here, full wrap. It's a West Coast saw, and it's in absolutely beautiful shape. It even has some Go Fast tape on the handle. I'm gonna have to fix that. So what are we gonna do with this saw, friends? Well, we're gonna make it go fast, or that's the idea. I've never ported one of these. Now, I am well known for being a Homelite porter. That was just a crazy idea I come up with in my shop one day. It's like, hey, I'm gonna port the living bejesus out of one of these 76s. Those of you that know, up in Canada, Homelites are a pretty common saw. Homelites were huge here, 60s, 70s, into the early 80s. They kind of faded away, but Homelite built some good saws. Any Canadian boy that's cut firewood has probably cut firewood with a Homelite. I grew up, my dad had a Homelite, and that's what he cut his firewood with. So what I'm going to do today, friends, is I want to mount a timing wheel to this. I've never timed one of these. I want to know what I'm starting with. I'm going to measure the squish, exhaust port, and transfer timing. This is a reed saw. We may or may not have to mess with the reeds on this saw. Now this saw, friends, has a governed carb, or at least it's supposed to. Now, it's actually funny. I'm looking at this thing right now. I don't see a governor on this carb. So I don't know what the deal is, friends. It may have had a carb swap already. Let's see here. It's got a Tillotson on it. I can't see the numbers. Let's see what we got here. It's an HS 179A. It's a big carb. I wonder if this carb will do what we need it to do. We won't know. These old saws, friends, they are tons of fun to port. They are definitely oh, boop. My fireplace does that sometimes. It goes bump. These things, they're definitely involved to port. Any of you guys out there that port the old stuff know, you often have to do a lot of work to these to get these rocking and rolling. And I'm up to the task. This will definitely be a long-term project. I expect it to be. We'll jump in and out of it. Now, my idea with this, you guys, I'm sure most of you by now, or a lot of you, have seen the original Hotrod Homelite. That was the first 76 that I'd ever really seen anybody port. I think another fella did one. I can't remember his name now. It doesn't matter. But that was one of the first. I won't say the first, but that was one of the first Homelites I'd ever seen anybody port on the YouTube. I had a bunch of them here, and I thought Fab Willie was over. We were drinking coffee in the shop one night, and I said, I think I'm gonna make this saw go fast and just see what will it do. Any of you that have run a 76, they are absolute monsters out of the box. I wanted to see if I could get RPM out of that saw and keep it alive. I blew the first one up. You guys remember that? Those of you that were here then, I showed you guys. The cylinder, I have it here somewhere. I keep it just to remind myself to stay humble, and things are gonna happen. If you port saws, once in a while you're gonna pop one. It was funny. That saw ran really good. As I was cutting with it, I could feel that something was going on. I rode it out until it let go, friends. I knew by the time I felt anything, I knew it was already gonna go, so I just rode it out. Why? At that point, there was no damage I could undo, and I studied that piston and cylinder. That's the one I took the bridge out of. I did that to see if I could do it. Now, was it a crazy idea? Yeah, but somebody double dog dared me to do it, and so I done it. Would I do it again? No. So this, from what I can see, friends, is a giant XL76. It looks like it has the same kind of exhaust port. It has a bridge in the center. It looks like the same saw. It's just bigger. I have another 922 here that has a completely different cylinder on it. So I don't know if the one I have is an 82cc jug on a, these are 77 cc's. The 925 was 82, that's the American saw. The Canadian saw was 77. I don't know which one's better. I've never run a 925. They don't really exist up here. So, okay, I'm gonna get the timing wheel mounted and let's see if we can time this saw mostly together, and then we'll see. I'm just curious where we're starting. I'll measure the squish and the timing, and then after, I'm gonna have to take this saw apart, friends, and measure. I want to know if I can do machine work to the cylinder, how much room I have until I freeport. These Homelites have really, really short pistons. They really don't leave you much room to do anything. You can maybe take 5 or 10 thou off and then do a little machining to the top of the piston. You can't really cut the combustion chambers in these because there's just not enough room. So in my experience, your mileage may vary, but so let's dig into another project. We definitely need to put a big pipe ski on this saw. And we'll go from there. And if we need a bigger carb, friends, I have quite a few larger carbs. I could probably bolt a 272 carb onto this. You do have to modify the throttle shaft, the idle stop, butterflies. Like, it's pretty involved to build a carb for this. I did do a video on that way back when for Buck and Saw. Buck and Saw has a bigger carburetor. I don't even know what it's from, friends. I found a carburetor that I thought would work, and I modified it until it would work in a Homelite application. Okay, I'm gonna get set up here and I'll mount the timing wheel and zero it, and we'll see what we got here. I'm curious. This is pretty exciting, friends. I would like this thing to pull a 32 with absolute authority. This is a torque saw. When you have a saw that makes torque, you can usually get good RPM out of them. We won't know until we do it. So first battle is to start. Let's do it. Okay, welcome to the newcomers. If you've never seen this, this is a drill chuck. Okay. I put it onto the end of the crankshaft, usually on the flywheel side. You can also do it on the clutch side. And I tighten it down, and this one is threaded in the back. So what do? Take our fancy Tin Man Saw's timing wheel. Okay. This is actually the shaft out of the drill that this come off of. Okay, and I just finger tighten it for now. Okay. See, it's loose. It's not even going to spin the motor around. We need to find top dead center on this saw. Now, what I'm going to do, there's 4 screws that hold the handle to the body of the saw, okay? Right here, see that screw? Now, these are like curtain hanging, like for a shower curtain. I don't know, I found a bunch of them. I can't remember, I was at an estate sale or something like that, and I bought all these bins full of hardware, and there's one full of these. I use these because they're nice and sturdy. Okay, they stay still more or less. Now, you can use copper wire, welding wire works good. Whatever you got. The less stiff the wire, you just got to be more careful. But you can use anything you want. My way is not the only way. Whatever works for you works for me, is what I say. Oh, we put that on backwards. Hold on. Okay, I got that piece of wire mounted here. I'd like to show you guys how I do it. So I know this stuff can be a little daunting when when you first start out. When I first started out, it's like I didn't know what I didn't know. You guys get what I'm saying? I spent a lot of time second guessing, and what I found, friends, keep it simple. It really, you don't have to go crazy with all this stuff. As long as you get repeatable numbers, that's all that matters, okay? Now all I'm going to do, I'm just going to bend this real funky until it gets close enough. I mean, we can do it like that even, okay? It really doesn't matter, friends, as long as your pointer more or less is straight up and down. See, right there, okay? Now I'm going to take my little wrench here and I'm just going to reef this thing down, okay? I'm going to reef this piece of wire down till it won't move. That's the key. You don't want your wire to move. This wire is really stiff and it really holds its shape well. It's bendable. Okay, so you see that? Now the wire is too high, friends. So all I'm going to do is just go like this. Bend it down a little bit. Use my plier. And, okay. I want it far enough away if there's any run out in the wheel, it won't touch. Okay, there we go. There's our timing wheel. Now all I did here, friends, see this shaft? There's 2 flats ground onto it right here. I just ground it with a grinder. And I believe, I can't remember what size it is. 3/8? Yeah, it's a 3/8, okay? Tighten this down so that it more or less moves with the motor. See how it's spinning now? Okay? Now, we got to find top dead center. Okay, friends. Always turn it in the direction of rotation, okay? So here's my clutch. I want to turn it so that it spins the way that the chain would spin. All right, just got to set this up. These Homelites are a little tricky to time because you got to put them straight up and down. Now I'll turn the light on for you guys here. Okay, here's our piston. Okay. I got no spark plug in here. Okay, right there. So see how the clutch is moving but the piston isn't? That's your dwell. Okay, and that can affect how a saw runs. If it dwells longer or shorter, that can affect the performance of a saw. Okay, so we're pretty close to top dead center right now. Now I spun the saw around. The pointer's at 170, so we are 180 degrees out. I like these because they are marked top dead center. Okay, so now I will loosen this off and spin it around till the pointer is at top dead center, and then we will adjust it from there. Okay, right, so we're at 170 something, right? So we are out. I'll grab the flywheel, loosen this. Now I will turn this around, okay, top dead center, roughly. We're not zeroed yet. This is the most important thing, friends. If you don't zero properly, your numbers will be all off. And that's one thing. A lot of the emails I get, you guys give me timing numbers for your saw. And timing's like a language, friends. And once you do it enough, you'll know if the timing numbers you're getting are about right. A lot of times you guys send me numbers that are completely off. And it's actually a good learning experience. Because I say, hey, I think your wheel's not zeroed. And then you guys really zero that wheel and you come back with numbers that are bang on. Because a lot of these saws time the same, right? Okay, so we're not zeroed, but we're close. I will find my piston stop right here. I'll clean it off so I don't get anything into the motor. Now in this case, this thing's coming apart, so we can do what we want. I will probably put a little fuel in this thing and fire it up. I can't remember if I even run this saw, friends, so I'm sure it's good to go, but I'd like to make sure. Okay, so I'm going to move the piston down. I'm going to take my piston stop here. I'm going to insert it through the spark plug hole until it hits the back wall of the cylinder. Okay, you'll feel it stop. Now watch. It stops there. Okay, and I'll zoom you guys right into that so you guys can see. Where does it stop? 65. After top dead center. Or before top dead center, right? Where does it stop now? 61. Okay? 61 before top dead center. So now all I have to do, friends, is adjust my timing mark Okay, the difference between 65 and 61 is 4 degrees, so I am 2 degrees out on my timing. That does make the difference, friends. So 2 degrees can be a lot. Okay, so we're at about 61 and we'll go back again. This time it's showing me about 63. So we'll go back one more time. Just want to make sure everything's good. Now we're saying 59. So again, my wheel is moving. My timing wheel's moving. All I do is just loosen it off and move it over. So we want to go about 63 degrees. Okay, friends, I got the timing wheel zeroed. It takes a little bit of fiddling. Okay. 51. You guys see that? 51. Your perspective here. Let's get it. Because I know you guys will say it was 50 and a half. Okay. I'm seeing 51, friends. So your perspective's a little off. Okay. 51. And 51. Okay. Just hoping you guys could see that a little bit better. Yeah, the camera is not cooperating. Sorry, I moved the piston stop there. Okay. 51. And 51. I am so excited about this. XL76, but more. Okay, let's time this thing. Okay, friends. Use the cylinder scope again. Thank you, Clint. You're a good fella. That was like one of the greatest things anybody's ever said to me. Sent to me. Old Clint there, he said, I found this unit here, this scope. I think it'd be handy for the channel. And it's like, yep. Okay, let's see if we can turn this around. Oh, we got to pull that thing out a little bit. Okay, I'll pull this thing back. Okay, I'm going to call it when the exhaust opens. Let's see, what do we got here? Right about... This thing's got meaty internals. It's hard to turn with your fingers here. Right about... Here, I'm going to try and grip it better. Right about... Right there, friends. What do we have on the good old timing wheel? You guys got to see it before me. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, I'll bring you guys in close here. What's that showing me? And I'm going to spin it around again so that you guys can see. 104 after top dead center. Okay, top dead center's here. It is spinning in this direction. So count the numbers. 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. 104 after top dead center. Funny story, that's where I thought it was going to be. Okay, I'm going to turn it all the way around again. Exhaust port closes there, right there. That should be back at 104. And it is. Okay. Keep spinning it around. Now I do everything 3 times, friends, and everything's got to jive. If it doesn't, I assume my wheel is not zeroed. These are harder to time, just the shape of the exhaust port. Okay, 104, friends. After top dead center. I'm going to do it one more time. And you know that this thing's zeroed because I'm getting the same number every time, friends. Okay? Sorry, I went too far there. I got all excited. I'll spin it back around again. Right about there. And what do we have here? 104 after top dead center. I'm going to write that down in my book. Okay, now I'm going to look through the exhaust port and see if I can where the transfer's open. We will reconfirm that with the scope and or a ring. Okay, now I can see the transfer's pretty good here, friends. Right about, see if I can get it. This thing has huge rotating mass in the bottom end, so when you turn it over, it's also cold. Right about there, friends. Now what do we have? Looks like about 122 after top dead center. That's not bad. 122 transfers. 122 after top dead center. Now again, friends, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this 3 times. Okay? Spin it around all the way up. Now what I'm curious about, will this clutch hold power? Buck and saw, I had to build a custom clutch for that 76. That took a while. I used components from various saws to build that clutch. There you go, 122 after top dead center. Okay, friends, well, I'm going to do it one more time. I'll do it off camera. Let's see what we have now for timing numbers. Okay. Well, this has been fun. I measured the squish. I had to find some plumber's solder. Squish, I had to take the timing wheel off, friends, because I couldn't get the squish to cinch down. Okay, so the squish on this saw is 40 thousandths. Not where we want it to be, but the only way to know what I can do with this saw now, friends, is to actually take it down and measure things. I have to see what the overlap of my skirt is on the exhaust port. If I can machine the cylinder, friends, I will. I will drop the cylinder to give me more squish, or less squish. Tighten the squish, friends, is what I'm trying to say. Right now, what I can see on this saw is just basically an overgrown XL76. Similar timing numbers. I think it's going to be a good saw, friends. I'm not unhappy. Blowdown is 18. Exhaust opens at 104. I have some ideas on how I can modify the reeds on this saw. This is stuff from back, year and a half ago, friends, when I was building the other 76s. I planned to do one of these, but as you guys know, time flies. It definitely flies on YouTube, and we're finally jumping back into this saw. I would like to build a 2-stage reed for this, if I can, if it needs it. The saw, the thing is, friends, the saw will tell me what it wants when I run it. If it runs good with stock reeds, I'll leave them. If I feel it needs a 2-stage reed, I will build a 2-stage reed, if possible. This saw is like brand new. Piston and cylinder are minty, and I think it's going to be good. This is one of the nicer Homelites I've been inside, so... it's got huge compression stock, which is good. If a saw has tons of compression stock, I can modify it farther than I can if it doesn't have a ton of compression. So, all in all, friends, I'm happy. So stay tuned. Thanks for hanging out. This is just the first step in the process. So we got exhaust 104, transfers 122, and a 40 thou squish. Of course, there's no intake timing. The intake timing is controlled with the reeds. So... next thing I do, friends, I just study the numbers, and again, I'll have to take this saw completely down. I need to measure the piston skirt and see how much room I have. Can I drop the cylinder? If I could drop the cylinder 2 degrees, that would give me 106 exhaust and 124 transfers. That would fix my squish issue. I'll run my squish 20 to 25 thou on this, so I might not even drop it 20 thou. But friends, if the skirt is too short, right, where it overlaps the exhaust port, I can't drop it. These Homelites are usually tough to do machine work to because there's not a lot of piston skirt left. So anyhow, friends, I'm excited. An XL76, but more. That Homelite I built for Buckin is an absolute orangutan of a little saw. That is the fastest, angriest 57cc saw I've ever run. I can't think of another 57cc saw that I would even try and outport to beat that. Funny story though, friends. I'm looking up at a box there. I got some 1010S's here. I'm going to try and build a 1010S to unseat that Homelite. Maybe Buckin can do some tests later on. That's coming down the pipe. We got lots of saw work to do, friends, and I'm just excited to be jumping into a new project. Anyhow, that's what we're doing for today. I wanted to get my numbers down. I will go over them, and when I make a plan, I'll execute the plan. We got to take this saw down and start measuring things, and maybe the base gasket is 10 thou. That'll get the squish even closer, right? We'll play this one by ear. That's what I always do with these old saws. The saws tell me what they want, and this one wants to go fast. I can feel it. Anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Later.